Thank you, John, and thank you, Teresa, for giving me and Ash an opportunity to go through this. It's not just me. Ash has been working with me throughout, reviewing the slides and giving me good guidance on how we should be presenting, and also Alex. So this is going to be first session, and we do have few polls. So Ash, did we figure out how the polls were going to be?
We do have them, yeah. So they should pop up in the Teams meeting, which is loading them up now.
Okay.
So are you ready for the first one?
Yes, I think we are ready for the first one. So our whole idea was to get some feedback from all of you who are attending this meeting, just to understand what LinkedIn means to you. How active are you on LinkedIn? So when the poll comes on, please answer the question.
So you should just have a pop-up in the middle of your Teams meeting. Just answer in that screen and hit submit.
How can we answer that?
Just click the result and then hit submit.
Well, I'm not really sure how.
So on the one, you pick one of the buttons next to the either yes, no, not interested, or what's LinkedIn, and then hit
There's
submit.
no button. That's the point.
Like a little round.
No, there's no button. Beside number one, right? You're talking about.
Not the slide, like a little black box should have popped up.
I don't see it.
It may be on, if you have two screens, it may be on your other screen. Just check your computer. And you see the circle, so click on the circle.
Yeah, he's not getting the pop.
It looks like it shows up in the chat too.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Oh
If
yeah.
you show conversation in the chat, if you go up to the
I
I found it. I'm going to review it right now and get it over to Matt. So sorry about that. I didn't check. So
No problem. Okay, so we do have 22 responses.
okay, I'm going to get to it right now. All right. Thanks, Connie. Bye.
Yeah, no problem.
I still don't see the button.
go to
That
the chat, Ron. It's
Chat.
if you go up to the little on the top of your screen, upper right-hand corner, there's that little thing that looks like a quote, and you put show the conversation, and in that chat you'll see the questionnaire also.
Oh, I see. Okay, hold on a second. You're talking about the chat. Okay, meeting chat, and on the bottom. Okay. Just type in like yes or whatever it is, right?
Just
Answer
click on the
however.
circle. Yeah, click on the circle.
There's no circle. That's the problem. I don't see any circle
Oh,
here.
it says you
Oh,
answered.
circle here. Well, that's recording.
Yeah, we are recording the presentation, so we can save it in the team space for MSSP if you want to refer to it later.
Okay, so let's move on. So we can get with whoever has the problem in answering the polls. We can talk to them later. No problem at all.
Okay.
So we did get 24 responses. Out of 24 responses, I'm really happy to see that 95% of the attendees actually have a LinkedIn. That is awesome. And there is one person who said, "What's LinkedIn?" So please let me know if you want to know about it. That's the whole point of the presentation today. And even after the presentation, if you have any questions, please reach out to Ash or me. Okay, we will be happy to help you out. Okay, we do have another poll coming in. Second poll, please answer that second poll as well.
See that? Yes, I do.
Well, since I don't have the button to click, so I'm going to write it down on the meeting chat.
Yeah, I
Perfect.
don't see
Sounds
this
good.
one yet, Ash.
There it is.
Didn't pop up for me.
Just takes a second.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, here, okay. Now it is showing up, okay.
Okay. So we do have 24 responses, and I'm really happy to see that 50% of the attendees actually post something, comment, like, or share weekly. That's really good. And I do see some people said that, yearly. So we have to change that after this 4 sessions. I'm looking forward to doing that. Okay. So as we were talking about, the social media is going to be 4 sessions. Okay. So 1 session per month. So next 4 months, MSSP group will be having the sessions regularly in their meetings. And we also are going to provide hands-on experiences, hands-on exercises for every one of you. And we expect all of you to be, excited about the exercises because they're very easy and we would like you to do the exercises. Okay, that's how we will learn. And committee posting schedule and topics will also be provided at the end of the 4th session. That is going to be purely coming from DFI. We are going to provide you the topics for each committees and the schedule. Once every 2 months or once every 3 months, the committee may have to post something on their LinkedIn, committee page. This is something that we will have to talk about in the 4th session. Okay. And I would like to request, if you're not speaking or if you're not commenting, please mute your mics. Thank you. Okay, so the first agenda for today is going to be how to get started with respect to LinkedIn. Okay, what are the things to avoid? And also we will talk about the social media policy briefly. And then we will talk about the hands-on exercises that we were talking about. We will provide you a few session activity that we would like you to complete by the next meeting, which is you have 1 month time. And if you have any questions on the session activity, you can reach out to me anytime. Okay. Okay. What do I mean by getting started? It means creating an account. Looks like 95% of the attendees actually have a LinkedIn account. That is awesome. And how do you use the network? How to find pages, navigate the network, and what does pages mean? What does groups mean? Okay, we will also talk about this. So when we say we should create an account on LinkedIn, what do we mean? And creating a LinkedIn account, how does it help? Let's go through that a little bit for people who don't know LinkedIn that well. So 21st century means we have to create a brand for ourselves. So this is something that we always have to think about. So when we say creating a professional brand, it doesn't mean just having an account. It means how are we going to manage the brand that we created on LinkedIn? Basically, we all work for different companies. From our companies and from personal perspective, how are we going to create a brand for ourselves and also for our companies? How are we going to use it on LinkedIn? We will learn that a little bit. And then what does LinkedIn do for us? It creates opportunities for us. That means it's not once you open the account, it's not going to automatically create the opportunity for you, but you have to regularly update your profile. Okay. And also, whatever is happening in your professional life, you will have to update that on the LinkedIn. We will show that as well in the next few slides. And then having a network on LinkedIn is very important. What is others doing? For example, I would like always to know what is Morgan doing, what is Sue doing, what is Rebecca doing. Rebecca just posted that she actually completed her PE and she got her PE and she posted a picture on it. So that was really cool to know that Rebecca has stepped up and got to the next level in her career. So things like that is very important to post on LinkedIn. And then new job, you change your job, you have industry contacts, you want your friends to know, industry friends to know, yes, I don't work for Keller now, I work for some other company. That is very important. What do you do for the new company, and what kind of projects do you do? So those are the things that we really have to think about when we are posting. So we will learn all that in the next few slides. And when you got the invitation couple weeks ago, you all got a link how to open the LinkedIn account. So there are 5% of the attendees today who have not opened an account. So let me know. Go through this, a YouTube video, which is very simple. It will tell you step by step how you have to go through it. And if you have any questions, please let us know. We will be happy to help you to create an account. So now let's go through another poll. I would like to know from all of you, why do you want a LinkedIn profile?
I'll jump in. This is Hutch. I had a LinkedIn account for several years. I just kind of let it fall by the wayside. And I thought it maybe went away, but I had our IT guy sit down with me, look into it, and it was still there. So we activated it, and I am in. A lot of good contacts I don't have on my CRM or my other system. So hopefully we'll get some more new contacts and thus more business.
That's awesome, Hutch. Thank you for sharing that. As you said, LinkedIn never goes away unless you delete your account. So it is nice that you did find your account, and hopefully after this first session, you will be able to include a lot of the contacts that you have in the industry. Okay. So we have 27 responses. So it's really nice to see that you want a LinkedIn profile to promote your company and your product. 88% of the attendees said that, and there is 7% who said to find a new job. Yes, exactly. That's a very good platform to find a new job. A few years ago, right? Like few years ago, when I say it's maybe 10 years ago, we would all have our resumes on Monster, Career Builder, Indeed. All those things are slowly going away. Yeah, you can find a very good job by having good contacts and updating your LinkedIn also. And 3% actually said to find new employees. Exactly. So when you get a LinkedIn account, when you increase your contacts, you will see a lot of people posting different things that they're working on, their projects, how they're advancing in their careers. That is going to be very good for companies to hire, right? So, okay. So Teresa has a comment in here, which is a very good comment. Wanted to pick more than one, but primarily promote company product, but also to find new employees. That's exactly true. I think, Ash, we should have put A, B, C, or all the above, or something like that. That's a good one for next time. Thank you, Teresa. Okay, so now when we get started, when you create a LinkedIn profile, as Hutch said a few minutes ago, he has a LinkedIn profile, but just having a LinkedIn profile will not do anything. We have to know how to change your profile, how to change your pictures, how to change your summary of what you do. So we will learn about it today. So profile tips. When you say a profile, you need to set a goal for your profile. Okay. What do you want this profile to look like? Is it for sales? Is it for recruitment? Is it to find a new position? That's what we went through with the poll, right? And also write it down. Always just typing it in, changing it all the time is not something that you should probably be doing, because as soon as you type it in there, everyone can see it. So have a plan, think about what you want it to look like. So, and then put it in there. And it is very good profile. Having a strong profile is very good to develop your career. Okay. Some people may have a question: is there a better way to invest your time? Probably yes, but this is where we are going. Okay, LinkedIn is becoming everyone's tool to advance in the career, to see what is happening, to see what new innovations are coming up. So it is very important for you to set the profile. So then, you know, audience is very important. What kind of audience do you want, really? Do you want just the audience that are exactly the same kind of companies that you work at? Or do you want people who are your clients, people who are outside your network? You want to see how they are running the business. Can I learn from their how they're running the business? Those are the things that you will have to think about. And not just LinkedIn is not just USA, right? LinkedIn is international. Everyone has an account around the world. So having that kind of demographics around the world is very important. Maybe in Europe, they are doing exactly like what you're doing for a project, but something better. Can you implement that on your next project? That is something that you can think about and learn. And then also to think about, who are you trying to connect with? Why do you want to connect with them? That is also very important to think about. And based on the goals and based on the target audience you have in mind, you may have to tailor your profile to meet those goals, and also to look at the audience that you're thinking of. So there are few important things when you're thinking about the profile. Number one is profile picture. It is very important to have a good profile picture. When I say good profile picture, what does it mean? It's not you holding a drink at a bar. It's not you gardening in your backyard. It's more on the professional side. How do you go to the office? You don't wear shorts and t-shirt to the office, right? You wear a nice polo shirt, just like John is wearing right now. And, and you definitely want to look professional in that picture. Again, you don't want a friend of you standing next to you telling you something in the picture. It has to be you. And no selfies. Selfies are too much on your face, and your face will be completely covered with that, the space that you have in the LinkedIn picture. So be careful when you take that picture. Okay. And you can ask others to take that picture. That is very, very good. And no pets. I know you may love your cat very much. Cat may be sitting on your shoulder, but that's not the picture we want for the profile. Okay. And then the second important thing is banner. We will see what I mean by this in the examples I'll show you in the next slide. So when you look at LinkedIn, your profile picture is right there, and then you have a banner in the back. So that banner is very important, because that image can reinforce who you are, what you do, what you believe in. There are a lot of things that can say. It can be, your skill. It can be your company name. It can be like, okay, I like to say always make it happen. I like to make it happen. So that can be the thing that is right behind you in that banner. We will see some examples on that as well. Okay. And your headline should be your job title. It can be your job title. And also, like, for example, I'm doing this, I'm chair of the Women in D Foundation. So I can put the chair person for the Women in D Foundations in the headline, actually, with the company I work with, and with the status that I have with the company also. We will see some examples of that. So overall, when you're creating the profile, think about what is your mission, and what motivates you, what skills you are good at, and also the best thing to do is put everything in bullet points or very short sentences. Don't put a whole story there, like 4-page story. No one has that much time to read on LinkedIn. And when you're looking at a phone LinkedIn app, you don't really see all that. So always be careful in putting in very sweet and simple words that everyone can understand and catches their eye. Okay. Um, and also, when you're writing the profile, just don't give one line things. Always think about what, when, and how. Why do you believe in that? What do you do? When did you complete your previous job, and when did you start your new job? Things like that you have to think about. So here, there is a link. We will be sending this presentation to everyone. There is a link. There is some tips for picking the right LinkedIn profile. Not having a LinkedIn profile picture is not acceptable. You always should have a profile picture. So you can click on that and see which are the right pictures, which are the wrong pictures. So now, here are some examples that I pulled out from the LinkedIn. So here, we all know Sebastian, right? Sebastian is super active on social media. He's a social influencer. That's what I call him. And you can see his picture is so bright. He is smiling in the picture. He's not frowning in the picture. He's not grinning in the picture. He's smiling in the picture. And the banner that you see in the back is from one of his project sites. So it shows what his expertise are, right? And let's look at Jared M. Green. Jared is very well known in the industry as well. So he has his picture in a light background. So this is something that is always recommended. Having a light background. Of course, Sebastian has a dark background. That's okay because his picture is fine. He's smiling. You will never forget him. So Jared, you can see he has a light background, and his company is hiring. Hiring for employees. So you can see that he has the hiring in there. And in the background, he has his picture. He loves to motivate younger generation to get into engineering. So here it shows that he is following his passion, right? So that's what I'm talking about. And on the right side, you will see two different profiles. They both, so the Felipe is also pulled out from the same industry, but Mina is not pulled out from the same industry. The reason why I wanted to show you was Felipe does not have anything in the background, but it's just plain background. This is not so good. When you look at it, it's not that very attractive. And his picture is not that bad, but he's flexing his muscles. Do we need to know he has, great body? I don't know. But I think it's not so professional. Mina, professional picture is amazing. I like her picture, but she's a little far behind. We can't really see her face that well. And she has she is the founder of Energize Your Voice, but the Energize Your Voice is not that well shown on the banner. It's cut off. So that's what I'm talking about. When you're setting up your banner and your profile picture, think of it. Think of what you want it to represent. Who you are, what you believe in. All those things can come into picture there, and your project pictures also, as you see, Sebastian's can be there as well. And if you have any questions while I'm talking, you can always ask me. Okay. Okay. So I wanted to show you a couple others. Of course, I've added my LinkedIn profile also. Let's click on this. Okay. I like Liz's picture very much. Again, as we said, it's in a light background, and you can see her face so vibrant, and she's wearing very good color, red color, which is complementing the picture as well. And look at the back. She works on design build projects. So she's showing her company name in there, Terracon, and she's showing the bridges. So which is very, very apt. So this is what I'm talking about. So let's go to my profile and see what I have in there. Again, the same thing, light background, So 60%, 70% of my face is showing. I'm smiling, which is really good. And if you see in the back, this is a project I worked on a few years ago, and I'm showing a picture which shows I'm standing on top of the world, right? And I'm loving what I'm doing. So that's what I'm telling you. Like that's how it should look like. When people see it should be attractive. Oh, it's awesome. Looks like her project, or it looks like her company name, something like that. Any questions on this before we move on? Okay, no questions. So you're all understanding what I'm saying.
No, I have a question.
Sure.
Well, how do you change your picture and your background?
Very good question. I'm going to show you that. Okay. So let's go in here. I'll show you on my profile because I can't change others. So I'm going to show you on my profile. So here, see, you click on the picture and it comes up like this and say edit. And now you can actually change the picture. If you want to bring in a picture, you can bring in a picture in here and you can crop, you can filter, you can adjust, you can do all that and say save photo. Okay. And if you don't want this picture, you can say delete and bring in a new picture. See here, you have edit, you have add photo. You can change the frames. If you don't like a circle, change the frame, do something else. So you can do all that in here. Morgan seems to be very happy how to change the picture. Okay, so if you go in here, yes.
Lucky, let me ask you a question. How about the background?
Sure. Yeah, that's what I'm going for next.
Oh, okay.
So if you see this background, see there is a pen in there. So click on that. There. You can say delete the photo or change photo. So you can say change, bring in anything you want. If you have upload, so you can upload photo from wherever you have saved it in your computer, and then you can bring it in there.
Is there any specific size of the photo or the background photo that we need to load it or edit it?
Yes, very good question. So here, so in this profile picture, I do have 400 by 400 pixel. Okay, that's what we have it in here. So my picture was taken by DFI. Okay, a long time ago, they took my picture. So I have that always saved in, so I uploaded it. If you don't have that, new iPhones, new Android phones takes amazing pictures. So when you're saving the picture, make sure you're saving it with large file size, or medium file size, not the small file size. Then it will be able to show a very clear picture. And for the banner, you can see here 1128 times 191 pixel. So keep that in mind when you're uploading. You can check the banner picture before you upload it and see if it is clear or not. Okay, so now I'm going to hand it over to Ash. Ash is going to share few things that can get missed in terms of profile.
Thanks, Lucky. So just in the About section, the main points to be aware of with your About section is to try to avoid jargon or multiple adjectives and buzzwords. The idea is to try to keep it clean and succinct and to complement your resume rather than duplicate. The first thing a recruiter does is they'll read your resume and then they'll go to your LinkedIn after that. If they're just reading a duplication of what they already have, you're sort of wasting their time, so you may get passed over. The other thing you can do is improve your profile with the use of keywords. It's a little SEO or search engine optimization method. A word cloud generator is a really nice way to come at it. This link here, Word It Out, is a good example online. If you've got a job or a position you're trying to get to or trying to get, upload the job ad into the word cloud creator and pick out the most important terms. From there, pop them into your profile where you're able to, and that will give you a much more targeted approach. So that means when you're when people are searching for these terms in LinkedIn, your profile will rank higher and you'll get a lot better score and be much more likely to be discovered that way. Unless you're using a generic profile, that's the best way to come at it if you can target the ad or the want that you're looking for. The experiences section is just below your about, and again, it doesn't want to overlap. You want to try to keep these as separate as you can. This one can be a little bit more of a duplication of your resume, depending on the experiences that you have in that, but you want to exhibit professional milestones and as many quantifiable facts as you're able. So figures and numbers, actual evidence that you've achieved these goals that you're talking about, rather than just stating you did this. Tell them how much you did it by. And the last point is to list your relevant skills. So again, if you're looking for a specific role, you want to target towards that. So list your relevant skills that relate to that role you're trying to achieve. Thanks, Lucky. The next one's the featured section. You can actually pin a post to your profile. So if you've contributed to an article or you've posted something online that you're quite proud of, link that as your featured post, and that will be right at the top of your profile. It gives it good coverage, and then recruiters or viewers, whoever's looking at it, can see that really clearly. The other thing you can do is set up a custom URL. Like if you can bring up your LinkedIn again, we'll just show you how to do that. Most people already have a URL or an address for their profile page, but it does generally be a pretty generic address. If you go through the LinkedIn settings, you can actually change that to exactly what you want, as long as somebody's not already got it. You can see there in the top right where Lucky's hovering over. If you click on that, and if you don't have that option, just click on the profile avatar and then settings and privacy, and you'll find it underneath there. But exactly that, Lucky, hit that pin, and then you can change the last bit of the URL to give yourself a custom address. It just makes you a little bit more accessible. And then when you're posting that on your resume, it looks a lot more professional when you've got your full name rather than a whole bunch of random characters. Thanks, Lucky. The next thing to be aware of is connection requests. You can actually be marked as a spammer as far as LinkedIn's concerned. The only way that you'll know this is if when you try to connect with a new person, you have to pop their email in. If you can connect freely and you don't have to enter that email address, you're not marked as a spammer. But the way that you will get marked is if if 5 people click that I don't know this person when you're trying to connect with them. So once you've hit that threshold, you'll be marked as a spammer. And the only way you can get that status removed is to plead your case to LinkedIn support. So you've got to reach out to their technical help and explain your problem and ask them to solve it. It is a pretty difficult thing to get rid of, especially once you've been marked a spammer. And if you do have that a second time around, you've got no chance. That's you now. You probably want to start a new profile. Thanks, Lucky.
Thank you, Ash. So, as Ash was saying, choose your connections wisely. Okay. So, if you randomly pick people that you haven't talked to in 40 years and they have no idea what they're doing, then you may be in trouble. Just think about it. Okay. So, now the next important thing is how to create a LinkedIn summary. This is very important. Okay. So when you're creating a LinkedIn summary, don't overly target your profile. That means just say in few words who you are, what you have done in the last 15 years, 20 years of your career. You don't have to put in everything that you have done, just the highlights. Okay. And experiences, goals always change. So it is very recommended that you always change your goals and experiences as you advance in the industry. Okay. And again, as I said, don't have to write down everything. Take a broader, um, you know, broader stake. What I mean by that is overall, if you have had 4 jobs, think about all the 4 jobs, how they can come in together. You don't have to like weave that as a story one after the other. like a broader stroke, not like, writing about every single experience in a completely long story. Think about that. Okay. And this is very important. Only 300 characters are shown when you see a profile on computer. But when you're looking on an app on your phone, it's even fewer. So think about it. You don't have to write your life story. Write a short, simple, and crisp story about what you have done in the last 15 years or 20 years. We will see some examples. I'll show you that. So your mission is, what do you do? What is your passion? And how do you apply your skills? That is very important to put it in there. Then always, this is my favorite, always connect your skills to a personal story. And it's all about achievement. Just like Rebecca had posted last week, she passed the PE exam, and it was a great way to let everyone that she connects to and more, and who they connect to, that she has passed her PE exam successfully. That's very important. So achievements like that always have to be shown on your LinkedIn profile. And then again, I'm telling this again, bullet points. People don't have time to read 40 lines. Instead of that, if you just put bullet points of what you want to, what you want to share, it will catch everyone's eye. So again, go beyond just recording what and when, add some why and how. Like Rebecca decided to take her PE exam, right? So why did she decide to take her PE exam? And after passing the PE exam, how does she feel? She wrote that in one paragraph, which was really, really cool thing to do. That's what we're talking about. I hope it's okay, Rebecca. I thought that profile was really cool. So that's why I'm bringing it up so many times.
Oh, not a problem.
Okay, so now let's see some examples. This may be difficult for you to read, but I'll click on the links and then show you what they have done. Okay, I think you can see this. So look at this. So he, him, his. Using pronouns have become very popular now. So it is up to you. If you believe in that, you can use the pronouns. And then look at his name, PEDGEFASCE, Noma. So he's put all his professional achievements right up there. That's a very good thing to do. And then he also says award-winning geotechnical practice leader at Langen, host of the Geotechnical Engineering podcast at Engineering Management Institute. And then he also says, talks about hashtag motivation, hashtag engineering, hashtag podcast, host, hashtag geotechnical, and hashtag inclusion and diversity. This is all he believes in, and this is all his passion. This is all he does in the industry. Okay. And now let's see his about. So here, about is very short, and see how he has pieced it in different paragraphs. That's very important. Again, as I said, people don't have time to read if you write it in 40 sentences in one paragraph. So I am a principal vice president at Langen, and he explains what Langen does. And it also, the company also has got best places to work award. So he brings that up even there. And then he has his website, careers, Twitter. He's on Twitter. That's how you can get in touch with Langen website. If you want to apply for that company, you really love what they do, you have the link as well. And then he talks about his professional engineering license in the states that he's registered in. And then he writes, my specialties include everything that he does in terms of Langen engineering. It's very crisp. It's very crisp, and it gets the point across of what he has done, who he is, what he believes in. That's very important. So now let's see another example. Yes, we didn't like his picture, we didn't like his banner, but his about is very interesting because, as we said, connect your skills to personal stories. That's what he has done. Growing together with engineers, geologists, researchers, practitioners, and educators on our many common interests. Always open to fruitful collaborations and partnerships. And he talks about he's a researcher, he's a professor, so he talks about what he really likes to work on. So that is very, very nice. So that's what I'm talking about. So growing together with engineers, all that. He says that in passion, what his story is and what he does. Something to think about when you put in there. Okay, so last one. This is a pretty long one, but I really like this. The reason why I like Vanessa's is, again, her picture is really nice, but it's kind of like, you have some noise in the background. You can't really see her picture. You can see the hard hat, which has the Army Corps, sticker on it, but still not very. And she has a side face, so you really can't see her. The banner, nothing there. But her about, I really like her about. Reason why I like is what she has done is in first paragraph she says what she has accomplished for the last 20 years or 25 years, and then she talks about the key attributes: engineering program management. What does she do with respect to engineering program management? She's very good at that. She explains that in here. Resource allocation, same thing. Technical quality, same thing. Technology, she talks about it. Leadership. So how she has put her, learning and the success in her career for the last 20 years in these key attributes. I really like that how she has done. So something that you can think about. So any questions on that before we get on to the next poll? Okay, sounds good. So now you will get a poll. Please answer the poll. This is awesome. We have 95% of the attendees saying that they do follow a page or a group. That is awesome. There is only 4%. That means there's only one person who does not follow the pages or groups. I hope that person changes after our sessions. So let's see what is a page, what is a group, when should we follow them, what does that mean to us? So page means um, profile for a company or a brand. Posts can be seen by followers of the page or general members. Followers can comment on the content pasted on the page. So that is pages. That means DFI has a page on LinkedIn. I hope everyone has added their, follow DFI page. Hope. If not, we will see in the next example how to get there. So groups. What does groups mean? Place where individual members come together to discuss areas of common interest. If you are part of a group, you can post and participate in the discussion. Groups can be private and not visible in search/closed. Okay, it can be closed. Group content is only visible to group members, like Women in Deep Foundation's group. It's a group where you can have conversations privately and you can have any kind of discussions and you can participate in the discussions only if you are part of the group. That is very important. And that the others who are outside the group cannot see that. Okay. And as we said, groups cannot be tagged on your personal LinkedIn page. LinkedIn profile. That's another thing. So when to use pages and when to use groups. Groups are for dialogues with a group, right? So if you want to open up, for example, like Women in Deep Foundations again. So we are a group of people who believe in men and women both, who believe in bringing together other women in the industry, fostering them, mentoring them, retaining them in the industry. We want to have conversations. So we have created a group. Okay. That means we have cultivated a small community of people who facilitate the discussions. Okay, and pages are to promote openly stories and posts to be shared widely by professionals on the network, like DFI page, right? DFI page talks about all kinds of conferences, all kinds of news, events, anything, awards, everything that comes on on their pages. So that is what the page is. So now I want to show you Women in Deep Foundations LinkedIn group. So this is the LinkedIn group. Here I have clicked on the group, and this is the group page that you can see. So here it says it's a listed group. Okay. And you can see everything, the members that have posted. And if you are the member of this, that is the only time you can actually put in your comments here. And others outside the group cannot see the comments. So I want to show you. So this is my profile, right? So first you see my dashboard. This means like you can see how many people have reviewed my profile, how many post views, how many search appearances. In how many appearances when people search for something, they have seen my name. That's what it is. Then I have the activity experience, education, skills and endorsement, accomplishments, interests. So here you can see all the interests. Sorry, I'm trying to go to my page. It's very slow. The different pages and the different groups I'm part of. Okay, so here you can see the groups that I'm part of. So I'm part of Women in Deep Foundation, Driven Pile Committee, MSSP group, the Foundation Institute, ASCE, Resiliency Development. So when you add a group or a page that comes on here, you can see all the recent ones and the groups. We will see how we can add this in a little bit. So now let's talk about post types. What are the different posts that we should be posting on LinkedIn? We always have so much confusion. Am I writing it correctly? How long does it have to be? What should I say? Is my English correct? Is my grammar correct? A lot of things. So short or long, go with short story or full story. Don't say half and half. When you say half and half, people will lose interest, people will not understand, and people will not want to follow that. Okay. Or comment on that. And always stay personal. When you're talking about a story, when you're putting in a post, stay personal. Show what it means to you. I'll show you some examples. And your post always should trigger a conversation. You can ask a question. You can post a huge pipe, a pipe, and then say, "Can anyone guess the diameter of the pipe?" That triggers a conversation, and they will start adding in the answers. We will see some examples of that as well. And using headers, bullet points, and quotes, very important. You're reading a book, there is a beautiful paragraph about something which is very inspirational to you. Put that paragraph and say, "This is the book I'm reading, and this is what it means to me." That is amazing. That's a quote, bullet point, use that as a header. And then images and videos. People love to watch videos. So if you're on a job site, if it's your company equipment, or if it's a company product, take a video of that being used for some kind of construction application, post that on the LinkedIn and say, "This is what it is. We are working with this company, construction company, engineering company," tag everyone. See that as well. Then accomplishments and milestones. talked about this a little bit. You got an award last week. Post that on LinkedIn. And then pinned posts. Pin your best post or most appropriate post. So now let's go to Sebastian's first. Okay, so here, so Sebastian took his family to Sports and Exhibition Authority of Pittsburgh last week. He has posted the pictures, amazing pictures, and he has talked about, his family going to that exhibition and working progress of an awesome team. He's also posted all the companies that he works with on the projects in Pittsburgh. How cool is that? And he's also tagged Pittsburgh Heli, which was the company that took him in the air, right? This is so short, but it connects so many companies. What does it mean? When you connect so many companies, the people who are part of those companies will also see this post. That means your network just expanded times 10, times 20. So always think about that. And then he's going to a conference. He's presenting at a conference. He's put that in there. That's exactly what you should do. If you're going to next is what? DFI 46. If your company is going to be there exhibiting, put your booth number there. If you are going to be presenting a paper, put your name in there. Put, 2 months to go, or 3 months to go, or 60 days to DFI 46, and our company will be presenting so and so paper, whatever it is. So put that in there. That's amazing, right? And this is one of my favorites. Sebastian always, when the D Foundation Institute magazine comes out, he picks what means to him, what what his passion is from the magazine, and then he posts it on LinkedIn profile. And then he tags his company. That means he has tagged the Foundation Institute, he has tagged his company. So everyone who is part of the Foundation Institute will see Sebastian's profile, will also notice American Geotechnical and Environmental Services, which is his company, and many of them may go and click on that company's page to see what do they do. That's an amazing thing to do and amazing marketing for your company. Always think about it. Okay, so now this is also personal story. He has posted a personal story with his son and wearing Pitt jersey and DFI podcast. This is so amazing. He has hit 4 points in one picture, right? Always think about it. And he has tagged many people in here. All the contacts of these people can see his profile, want to connect with him. His network is growing. His company is also growing in that way, right? So always think about this. So I wanted to show you this. She is not in our industry, but I really like her just because the way she posts, she's an influencer, she's a motivator. She was a former chairman and CEO of Pepsi company, and she likes to post the articles that she reads about and what it means to her to influence others and motivate others. So that's one of my favorites. And this was another one. So this is like she put out a few months ago, she put out a conversational comment saying that what are the books that you're reading this summer? What are the books that you may want to read this summer? And she accumulated all of that and then put a note in there for everyone to see. So that generates a lot of conversations. You can see 93 comments and 2,410 people have viewed. So that is amazing. So I have to show you this one. This guy, we talked about Felipe. His picture is not good, his banner is not good, right? But his activity is outstanding. Outstanding. Every time he posts something on LinkedIn profile, he gets like 200 comments, 300 comments, and 10,000 people view it, things like that. So basically, most of his comments are asking a question. Let's see if we can find one. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at his activity. Instead, should go to his posts. So here, this happened a few hours ago. Slow failure with flow of a material in a mining facility in Brazil. So he has posted the video and see how many views, 2,925 views, and 127 people have reacted to it. And he always asks a question. He hasn't asked, see, please share and comment, but he hasn't specifically asked a question. But many of his profiles actually look at this one. Beautiful profile, right? This is what I'm talking about. Always linked to personal stories and something that others in the industry will like to know about or learn about. Okay. So searching profiles, navigation tips. So this is very important. How do you search for a profile? So let's see. I'm not connected to Dylan Robinson. So let's connect with Dylan Robinson now. Give me a second. Okay. There. So here, go into search and type Dylan Robinson. There you go. The first one, project engineer at McLean Power Systems. Click on that, and then you go to his page. Say, connect. Sometimes this will be locked and it says just message. Then you can click right click, and then you can say connect with a message, and then you can connect with that. So now I've sent him a connect request and he's going to add me as his contact. I hope you will add Dylan. Okay. Sorry, skipped. Okay. So, and then, so quoted searches, you have to put the term, what you're thinking about. And if, for example, pile driving, if you want to put pile driving, you can go in here, go back to home. Look at all the companies that come up and you say pile driving, right? So you can click on the company, see what they do, how many people are part of that, employees are part of that. You can look at that. And if you say DFI, sorry, DFI does not come up, but Deep Foundations Institute. There you go. Deep Foundation Institute, Deep Foundation Institute of India. So if you click on this, you will see everything you want to know about them. What are the recent posts? Do you want to become or do you want to follow them? Because they're all pages. So you can do that. Sorry about that. Oh. Okay. Okay. So any questions on this? How to look for things, how to find things. And you can actually put multiple things as well, as you see here, pile driving, and you can actually put vice presidents or director, and you can find the person you're looking for.
Lucky, I have a question.
Sure.
So when you're searching, I notice like if I search, if they're in my circle, let's say within the industry, I'll come up first, second, third, or something. But sometimes I'll search and they'll say like you're out of your network or you're not really in there. Do you have to have a premium account to connect with people like that, or you do?
So sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. I think probably we should have talked about it a little bit. Premier account probably is like, some companies, recruiters usually pay for it and have it. But usually if you're an individual account, unless you are actually looking for people to hire, you may not want to do that, paid subscription. It's not necessary. So it's totally okay if it is like that, then what you can do is like you can find a common friend who is part of you and that person and reach out to that person and let that person know that you want to get connected, and that person can introduce you to them. Then you don't need to, you will be out of their network, but you can actually add them.
I think you can connect easily with somebody if they're a secondary. If they're a third down, then you have to send the message.
Yeah, that is very true. Ash, do you want to add anything on this slide?
Yeah, thanks. Just that those Boolean search terms can be really quite helpful. If you're trying to target something really specific, for example, pile driving and DFI, or if you've got a company that you want to target and you want to find that position that you're looking for, that can be really quite helpful. If you need to have multiple terms, you can do that as well. Just put your second argument in brackets. But there are some examples on that slide. So and, or, and not are the three different operators we can use. So if you're trying to exclude something, you're looking for pile driving and you want it not in America, you could put pile driving not America or not USA, and that can give you a more accurate result. And your search results are always based on your network too. So breaking out of that can be a little bit tricky, but using these Boolean terms can help. Last thing to remember with these Boolean search terms is that the operators must be in all caps. So and, or, not must be in capital letters. Otherwise the search won't recognize them as an operator.
Okay. So any questions on this? Okay. So now this is very important. Ash is going to cover this and he's going to let us know what we need to be aware of when we are using LinkedIn.
Yeah, so the LinkedIn app especially will geolog you, which means it will record everywhere that you go, every time you stop somewhere. And if you have Bluetooth turned on, it will also keep a track of other people that you cross paths with. So if you're getting notifications or if you're having other people presented in your feed as possible connections, this could be where it's getting it from. So it's just a good thing to aware. If you don't want to be tracked, just use LinkedIn over a mobile browser on your phone and then get rid of the app. The second point is social media is designed to consume your time. So the whole point of these networks is to keep you on them, to keep you posting, to keep you active. If you don't want to do that, you'll need to put something in place so that you don't have to waste all your time. It can be a real time thief, but if you've got goals and a clear agenda that you want to achieve, that's a good way to try to avoid wasting time. The other point is that you can infringe on others' intellectual property. So if you want to share content from someone else, a different author, make sure you attribute. Always have your original source declared in your post. So if Coca-Cola have a particularly nice article that you like, make sure that you're attributing them in your post, and that gives you a little bit of protection. The other point is that if a post is pinned, it will be at the top of your feed, and promoted posts can be a problem thing. Down the bottom there, we've got an example. The post you can see underneath the provider name, it says promoted. So if you do pay for a post to be promoted, it will get better coverage, but you can also get a reputation as a spammer. So use it sparingly. The next point is companies that you follow are very visual on your page. It's the bottom section of your profile. So if you're following companies that you don't really want to be that connected with, it can be very visual. The other point is endorsements and recommendations. The social etiquette is to return the favor. So if you endorse and recommend your colleagues, that's usually the best way to get that favor returned. And to try to keep your connections warm. If you haven't had contact with someone for a long period and you send them a friend request, your chances of getting that approved are pretty low. So generally don't wait. If you meet someone in a meeting, assume the sale and make the connection request then and there is the best way to do it. Then they know you've done it. You can even try to force the connection if you want to push that a little bit further, but at least keep them warm. And for pinning posts, Lucky, if you want to go back to your LinkedIn, we'll just have a quick look at how to do that. If you can have a look at one of your posts, there should be in those three dots an option to pin it. So yeah, one of your posts. So in those three dots at the very top right corner, if you save that post or feature on top of your profile, that's what I mean by pinning it. So if Lucky clicks on that top option, this post will be pinned to the top of her profile and quite visual. It'll be the top post whenever someone looks at her page. And then the same thing to turn that off. When you want to change that featured post, just hit the edit button and you can get rid of that when it's no longer important to you.
So this is the featured, it's right here. You can go in here, remove from featured. Remove from featured if you don't want it to be featured anymore.
Brilliant. Thanks, Lucky.
Problem. So we don't have too many more things to say, but we'll go through this really quick. Go ahead, Ash.
Yeah, so this is just some things to avoid. These are the terms that have been pulled from our new draft social media policy. We've got a new document coming to try to give you some guidance on how to use social media and the way that DFI will use it. Main things to avoid is this list here, and of course, common sense must prevail. I know that's a tricky term in this age, but I like the grandma rule. If your grandmother wouldn't approve, don't post it. It's nice and simple. It depends on your grandmother, of course. But oversharing, anything that's heavily commercial or a sales pitch can be a problem. Of course, derogatory can cause you direct problems if you're liable or slanderous. Prejudice, hate, harassment, and so on. So slurs and idiom or slang are also worth avoiding because they're very easily misunderstood, especially when you're posting across borders. I know as an Australian, I suffer that a little bit. Fortnight is a good one that doesn't seem to exist in the US vernacular, but to me it means 2 weeks. So easily misunderstood. Thanks, Lucky.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is an important activity. So everyone who is part of this and everyone who attended the meeting today will have to do the activity. Okay, if you haven't opened a LinkedIn post, if you haven't posted anything on your LinkedIn profile, please do that. Tag members, like and comment. So in the next couple days, watch out for a picture in MSSP page. Okay, I'm going to post something, and everyone who attended this and more will have to go up there, comment something, like or share. Okay, I would like all of you to do that. Then challenge. How many of you don't have a good profile picture? A lot of us don't have that, right? So by the next meeting, I would like you to change your profile picture. One, then you would have to look at something that really attracts you and do 2 likes per month. By the time next we come back in a month, you should have 2 likes on a post. Okay? 1 share a post, 1 comment on MSSP page. That's what we are talking about. You can comment on the picture that I will be putting in there after this meeting, or you may have to find another comment on MSSP page, another post on MSSP page and comment on that. I would definitely want you to do that. And then the most important, endorse or recommend a colleague. So in your contact, go through the network that you have and see if you have a client, endorse them or recommend them. Or if you have a network of outside your company, client, a project a contractor, a picture, whatever it is, I would like you to endorse that company or a person or your colleague. Okay, by the time next month we come back. Any questions on that? Are you all up for the challenge? More excited? Come on.
I accept your challenge.
All
Lucky.
right, Lucky, are you, is that wrap up this one? Other than
Yes,
questions?
this is the wrap up. This is the
Okay.
wrap up. And we will send you this whole presentation list and everything that we talked about. You can go to the links and read also. So that's all we have.
Teresa also
Thank you,
noted
John.
that it's been taped. So everyone, the next meeting is, the regular MSSP meetings are on the first Tuesday of the month at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So the planned meeting next time is September 7th at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We haven't, I think we discussed doing the October one at the annual. So we will firm that up at the next meeting and give you that time. Other than that, any other questions, or let's give Lucky a round of, can you do that round of applause virtually? Yeah, here it is, I think.
Not just Lucky, Ash as well.
All right, well, thank you, and we'll try to do our assignments. Any other comments or questions before we go?
That should be it. And make sure if you're not following MSSP page or MSSP group, sorry, MSSP group, the link is in the chat. Teresa just posted. Go on there and start following MSSP.
I just requested, so I don't know who is going to approve it. Maybe John.
DFI will accept your request and you will be there probably in the next few
Okay.
minutes.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity, John.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Really
Great job,
appreciate it.
Lucky and Ash.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Mm.
Tekmasan.
Thank you, Lucky. Thank you, Ash.
Thank you
Thanks
so
very much.
much.